friends, subscribers, internet strangers? What's up? Hope everybody's having a fine day today, morning, night, whenever you listen to this. I had a lot of requests on Instagram, Facebook, and then on the Monopoly video for how do I get around gating. So this morning, let's talk about restrictions on Amazon. So you have a new account in Unrestricted on Amazon, or it can be called gated or restricted. Either one, they're the same thing. You know, and a lot of people want to know, why in the world does Amazon do this? Is it because they don't like new sellers? Is it because they don't like me? First off, nothing Amazon does is personal. It is, you have to understand where Amazon comes from. Amazon takes the position that all customers on their site are their customers, and you as a third-party seller are allowed to sell to their customer. So anything they do is there to protect the Amazon name, the Amazon reputation, and Amazon's customer. So a restriction or a gating, they have had a lot of issues in the past with counterfeits, knockoffs, and people that are just they will create an account, they will sell a bunch of stuff, they will never ship it out, and then market is shipped and put some bogus tracking number on it, take the money and run, and then leave the customer just a carnage of customer damage in their wake. Or they'll sell a bunch of counterfeit stuff, and then they'll eventually pile up enough stuff where Amazon realizes they are a terrible seller because they are selling counterfeit merchandise, which is illegal. Let's not forget that selling counterfeit merchandise of any sort is illegal. Whether you call it as new, whether it's used, you pick up, even on eBay, you pick up that Gucci purse that all you know is counterfeit, and I'm just going to sell it. I know it's counterfeit. That is against the law. So the best thing you could do is destroy it. Do not redonate it so that someone else gets. It's the same thing with counterfeit on Amazon. You don't take your stuff and then try to sell it somewhere else because you got caught on Amazon, because it's still illegal no matter where it is. Anyway, so the restrictions are there to protect Amazon's reputation. One of the big things when I first started in 2013, the movie Frozen, it was just coming out, and there was just a ton of counterfeit Frozen merchandise. So Amazon's answer was to lock Frozen down. You had to have vendor invoices. You cannot sell Frozen without approval. And that was the point that I know of. There might be somebody in the comments might tell you earlier than that, but that's the first time I noticed that Amazon was very serious, and that was 2013. That's almost 6 years ago. And so DVDs have become gated, CDs, and these are new the later categories that have become locked down. You think about why. They're easily counterfeited, and so to protect the consumer and protect their reputation, it's much easier for them to say, prove your stuff is real, and then we'll allow you to sell it. So what do you need to get ungated or unrestricted in a category or a brand? A lot of times it's not a category, it's you can sell in the category, but there's a brand restriction. Really, time. First thing is time. Time selling experience, selling history. Amazon will look at your account if you apply for it and make a determination. There's some, I don't pretend to know the complex formula or simple formula they use, or the rhyme or reason. There are certain categories that were very easy for me to get into. The Monopoly game is a great example. Right in the middle of selling them, I was approved in Hasbro. Sold a ton of Hasbro, and then after I sold the 130 on the video, I went to send in the next. I had 216 total, so I went to send in the next 82, and you're restricted. So I applied. You're unrestricted. You can sell this. So there was, just because you can sell at some point, they can't go back and if they're having any kind of issues. And that was kind of weird, but just took about 5 minutes to fix it. So that leads me to the next one. So you've got a good selling history. You've been on the platform for 6 months. You've got some good sales, whether they're merchant fulfilled or FBA. And so now what? I want to. We'll use the Monopoly video all the way through this video. I want to sell them. I want to sell Monopoly. I want to sell Hasbro. How do I go to get approved in Hasbro? First, you go to the Seller Central webpage. So on the left-hand side of the Seller Central webpage will be the word catalog. If you click on catalog, add a product will be your option. It'll bring up a search bar. You can search for the item by UPC number, by ASIN, or by just the title of the item you're looking for, like a regular search. It should bring up a list of items. Pick the correct one. The more accurate you are with the search, searching for ASIN will bring up one item. UPC should bring up one item. If it's a name, you might have to search through a list to find the exact one you're looking for. The words in blue should say listing limitations. If you click on that, there'll be if they're taking applications, there will be a spot there to apply. And so how the results come? They come one of two ways. Either you are the first result, which is the one you're hoping for, is it says, due to your account metrics, you have been approved to sell in this category or this brand, or whatever the gating is. You've been undone. The second one will ask you to submit invoices. It could be one invoice, it could be three, but they're looking for proof that you are an approved vendor, and that comes in categories like HP required, because they have gone through the brand registry and locked down the selling of HP on. HP is a very aggressive company on Amazon. They are also in the Vero program on eBay, so you have to be careful on selling those items. But most people, I can't get undone in HP without invoices, and I don't have a manufacturer approved supplier. So I just sell all HP products that I find on eBay, which it's not a big deal. That's why you should really have an account on eBay and Amazon. Just because an item you're not available to sell it on Amazon should not discourage you, because chances are, if it is valuable on Amazon, it has maybe not the exact same value at eBay, but it has a significant enough value on eBay that you should be looking to sell it over there. And because don't not purchase an item because you can't sell it on Amazon. You want to have eBay available so that you can, or Mercari, or Poshmark, or is that all of them? Yeah, that's all the ones that I can think of at this current moment. So have a different platform or sell it local. There's because you can't sell on Amazon is not the end of the world, and people, they get upset and frustrated that they're gated and they can't get unrestricted because maybe they're new. So what would be my advice if there are certain products, stuff like toys right now? If you don't have the selling history, you're gonna have to do FBA on them. There's gonna be a lot of restrictions on toys right now. Fourth quarter is a hard time to deal with that. So what would the Bearded Picker's advice be to you? Focus on what you can sell. We sometimes get so sidetracked on what you can't sell, we forget about what you can sell. Used books, they're everywhere. You can find books at yard sales, thrift stores, Goodwill. There's just a plethora of places to find used books, book sales, you name it. They're everywhere, and the vast majority of them don't have a lot of value. But if you scan through enough of them using the seller app or a paid app, you can find enough books and make it worth your time. And the nice thing about used books is, as long as you get the condition right, understand me, don't cheat the system. You want to get good selling history. You want to get good feedback in order to sell other things. So make sure you classify books correctly. My best practice is, if you think it falls in a category of very good, you mark it as good. The money that you get for that book is is insignificant compared to what can happen if people complain about it. So they'd much rather get a book than thinking it's good, and it's actually very good. They are, the chances of you having any kind of issues go farther down. Another category is home. Home is a very large category, 40 million ranked items. There are very few restrictions at home. That includes kitchen, linens, anything you can think of for your home. And it's just like any other category. Most of the time I find there is less competition over there because most people do not focus on those categories. So, and those are home is a category that people buy things over and over. Think about a washcloth. That's an item. If it gets messed up, people just throw it away and buy another one. They buy them by the packs of 4 or 6, however they buy washcloths these days. Sporting goods, that is a great category. Huge. It is a big category, much bigger than toys. And just think about youth sports. What happens? Kids grow up, but they keep playing sports, so they need the next size up. They need bigger sizes. They are rough on things. Things get messed up as they get older and they continue in sports. Stuff gets more expensive because a youth bat versus a bat that a high school kid would use, or there's a significant difference in price. But all these things are it's a big category, and I'm just using baseball as an example. Just think about all the sports. The one thing you can't sell in sports categories, license stuff. So NFL, in Major League Baseball or NBA, those are all those brands. They are locked down. But anything else is pretty much wide open. Hunting is in that category. Right now hunting is in full season. You don't have to agree with hunting to sell them a lot of supplies, right? So my advice to you is to find other things. Just because toys are everybody's focus right now doesn't mean that you can't sell on Amazon. Doesn't mean that if you want to be able to sell toys, we're only a few weeks away, maybe 7 or 8 days away. This is December 7th. I'm recording this video. You've only got maybe a week to even send stuff in before it's over with. So now would be a time to focus on finding other things to sell. First part of the year is coming up. People can buy calendars. They're going to be all kinds of stuff, health and fitness. Start figuring out. Find a wholesaler. Find somebody who can supply you with Valentine's stuff, Easter stuff. Just if you start thinking ahead now, and before you know it, time flies so much that you will have a nice selling history, and you will be able to sell toys next year. And so that's my advice, is to focus on what you can sell, build up a good sales history, and prepare yourself for the future so that you can get ungated or unrestricted and sell the things that are easy to sell at this time, because it's the season for toys is right now. Well, toys sell year round. Don't let anybody fool you. People buy toys year round. The volume is incredible right now. So in the fourth quarter. All right, I hope this has answered a lot of questions about restrictions and gatings. If you got any further questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer every one of them. All right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you've learned something today for newer sellers, and roll tide.